to the Beyond Cinema Magazine Celebs.com lounge here at the Toronto International Film Festival. Rowan Athale, congratulations on the film Wasteland, mate. It's weird. Like if you look you up on IMDb or something, you see you've done a short film and then this. Yeah. How did you manage to do that? It seems like what would be an absolute dream for most people to go for your first film.
Yeah, it was with great difficulty. To be honest with you, it took a long time to raise the finance. Actually, making the short film was part of that. You know, I'd written the script, and we were getting a lot of hugely positive response to the script. That doesn't always materialise in, you know, kind of the dream scenario of, you know, instant financing. Let's face it, you know, you're still, you know, as an unknown quantity, you're just a risk for people. And even at a low budget, you know, we're still talking £1 million, you know, kind of, you know, $1.5 million, and in the real world, that's a hell of a lot of money. And so, you know, you've got to work hard to get people to trust you with that kind of money. So it did take a little bit of time, you know, to get it. You know, it looks like it's just, you know, a quick jump from A to B, but there's a lot, yeah, just, you know, a bit of a journey behind the scenes there. But still, even if it was a lot of work, it is actually a dream come true, like you say. So,
was there a point at which, like you said, the screenplay, obviously there's a lot of words on the page, a lot of dialogue in the film, reflective of these guys' mateship and the way they interact with each other. So was there pressure on you at some point to sell the screenplay and maybe let some other director take the reins?
It came up a few times, but I mean, I wrote it to be made on a low budget, and the reason I wrote it to be made on a low budget is so I could direct it. I mean, you know, you can write a completely different screenplay. You know, you can write something set on, you know, a distant planet, you know, create a whole new world, make Avatar. If all you're going to do is, you know, sit at a laptop and write a script, and you're not going to direct it, you don't have to worry about financing, you know, the sky's the limit. But, you know, the challenge of writing it was writing something that I thought would appeal to an audience, and hopefully it does, you know, appeal to financiers because I think they can make, you know, money back, but be made cheaply enough that I could direct it, you know, and still be passionate about it. You know, it's not all a mercantile affair, but, you know, you do have to consider these things. But, you know, I absolutely did write it to direct, so it never occurred to me to not direct it. You know, it didn't matter, you know, how long it took to make it.
Was it always set in Leeds and Portsmouth in that area?
Well, it's actually we shot a scene in Portsmouth that was more just you know, a pickup that was in there, but it was always set, that's, you know, kind of in Leeds. I set in my hometown of Barnsley, which is 15 miles away, but I'm quite ambiguous with that. You know, I don't actually specifically name you know, specific estate in Barnsley or housing project anywhere in North America. You know, but it was always going to be set in the Yorkshire area. So, you know, it's a fictitious estate where it is, but yes, it was always going to be in Yorkshire area. It was always going to be, you know, close to home for me.
When I was in Cannes earlier this year, it seemed to me that everyone within the UK film system was almost jealous of Yorkshire for having funds available and going elsewhere and getting some funds in. Were you able to kind of tap that advantage that Yorkshire's been kind of strategizing on?
Actually, no. We the timing was actually just off for that. The finance that you'll be talking about, that you're talking about in Cannes, came up literally after we'd already closed our financing. You know, there was rumours that it might be coming up, but, you know, these things are always discussed like that. And so, you know, we, you know, had the financing in place, and even though, you know, it's very attractive to get that kind of money for anyone, you know, in the industry, you know, to get regional funding, but we just, you know, we locked the financiers in already, and yeah, it was, you know, it's better taking what you have in hand. But, you know, it is amazing that, you know, Yorkshire does have this fund available, because what they do have is brilliant crew, just absolutely fantastic crew. They've got just amazing locations for anyone that wants to shoot there, and they've got amazing facilities, you know, from the studios, you know, we shot in, to the equipment houses, places like, you know, Provision, places like, you know, Prime Studios. It's fantastic for the city and fantastic for the industry up there that they do have this money, and that more things can go there now.
So talk me through, okay, so you're, you know, it's your first time feature, you're kind of getting all this trust on board to make this movie, approaching guys like Timothy Spall and Luke Treadway to play these roles. What's that first meeting like with these guys? Do you send them a script and wait for a response, or do you try and get them into a coffee shop and have a chat? Well,
with Tim Spall, who I'd wanted from a very, very early stage, we just sent him the script. You know, we've got a great casting director, Matt Weston, and when I say we, you know, I talk about myself and the producer Gareth Pritchard. Later, with the producers Matt Vigneault and Ed Barrett. But, you know, we just sent him the script, and very quickly his agent just got to said, yeah, he read it, he loved it, he'll do it. Just try and work it in his very, very busy schedule. But it was just that was a great phone call to get. Then with the other guys, we there was actually a great response from all the agents about putting their clients forward. We were looking for a very young, up and coming cast, for the characters, and so we had something of a pick of people. I mean, Luke was always kind of top on our list. Ewan was also Jared Kearns. Was actually cast a little bit earlier than the rest of them. But we auditioned anyway. But these guys were kind of our first choice, and it turned out that after we auditioned them, they were great for the roles, and we paired them up with each other, and
What do you do? Do you take them because music plays a big part in the film as well? Do you take them some tracks, get them in some sort of once they're cast, to kind of set the pace and set the mood? Because the film has a very specific pace to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do in that way as a young director?
Well, we talk about the kind of music that each character would listen to. We and to a certain extent dressed accordingly to that. I think the music, particularly in young people, the music that you're into has, to a certain extent, with certain people, it kind of dictates your clothing style, your style of person. And so it was that was the kind of thing that we discussed from a very early stage. Just when we were just shaping the characters. Yeah,
it feels very British, the film. Is that because your influences are British directors and things like that, or but what I really appreciated is, unlike other kind of heist movies, because it is technically a heist movie, there is so much character development for not just Harvey but for Charlie as well, and some of the other guys, and you really do get it. The film does slow down enough at times to allow you to appreciate the bonds between these guys and some of their girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the Guy Ritchie movies, they've got all the action, all the fast pacing. Very rarely do they pull the camera back and allow you that time that you've inserted in this thing. So who is it, and who are they, those people that have kind of influenced the now for you?
I wouldn't actually say this necessarily simply, British cinema. I had kind of a, and they've conceits the word, but the theory behind making it was that I wanted to make a heist film, which traditionally is kind of the almost like Hollywood fantasy, and ground it within the context of what would be a realist cinema, a council estate in Leeds. And I suppose verite cinema is very much a British thing. Well, not very much a British thing at all, but we do have a lot of famous and a lot of successful verite filmmakers, people like Ken Loach, people like Mike Lee, Shane Meadows, things like that. And so there's a certain extent there, but it's very heavily inspired by American cinema as well. Anything from just indemnity, just on, just all the highest films, great crime films of the genre. There would be too many to list, really speaking.
Yeah, there was one scene where Luke's walking into the club where I really felt like it was kind of Darren Aronofsky tracking, Mickey Rourke.
Absolutely, yeah, that was something I discussed very much with director of photography. Yeah, that scene, and I think that Matthew Libatique and Aronofsky, they do a good trading in following characters, where they're going, with some nice handheld work.
Very cool. Well, we're thoroughly impressed by the film. I think it's great. I wish you heaps of luck with it. Thanks for coming by and spending a few minutes with us.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.